Hello students, and this today's lecture we are going to start a new lesson, that is the hydrogen and its compounds. Okay, and you know that all of you are aware about the periodic table and where that hydrogen is there. Okay, these are all the things, but in this the first topic is that the position of hydrogen in the periodic table. The position of hydrogen in periodic table. Okay, so let's see in our notes what is that a position. You know that generally when you talk about the position we feel something new, right? Okay, where is that position, sir? Generally we will see that hydrogen with the in the periodic table in the first group of elements, right? First a group of elements. Okay, but it is not always true. Generally in the modern periodic table they located somewhere else. Okay, so what is that? Generally where they located is that they located at the top of the modern periodic table. Okay, at the top of modern periodic table, like you know that the periodic table will be like this, right? The periodic table, these are the S block elements and these are the D block elements, and followed by these are the P block elements. Okay, and it is a zero group, these are the zero group elements. Okay, so you feel that the hydrogen is here. Okay, but in the modern periodic table they located at the center, at the above and center of the modern periodic table. Okay, so why they have located here is that just we can see now, right? That is with the position of hydrogen in periodic table. Position of hydrogen in periodic table. Okay, so before going to that, just we can see some properties. Generally the hydrogen is a lighter element known having atomic number Z is equal 1. You know that the atomic number of hydrogen is 1 and it is a very lighter element. It is a very lighter element. Okay, and in elemental form it exists as a diatomic molecule and is called as dihydrogen. Okay, generally the hydrogen in not in a monoatomic state, it always be available in the diatomic form, so that you call it as a dihydrogen. Okay, and it resembles both with the alkali metals and with the halogens, and therefore its position is anomalous. Okay, so why can't we see this position with the first year group of elements is that generally it has a both, it has a resemblances, that means it has a similar properties with the alkali metals, that means with the first year group of metals, as well as with the halogens, that is with the seventh year group of elements. Okay, so that is the reason why the position here it is a anomalous, that means it has some uncertainty, it has some uncertainty. You cannot keep that hydrogen exactly in the metals, or you cannot keep that hydrogen in the exactly in the seventh A group of ఎలిమెంట్స్. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ విత్ ద హాలోజన్స్. ఓకే, సో రెండింటి దగ్గర కూడా మనం వాటిని ఉంచలేము అనమాట. ఎందుకంటే ఇక్కడ కొన్ని సిమిలారిటీస్ ఉన్నాయి, అక్కడ కొన్ని సిమిలారిటీస్ ఉన్నాయి, అండ్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఇక్కడ కొన్ని డిఫరెన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి, అక్కడ కొన్ని డిఫరెన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి అనమాట. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై దే లొకేటెడ్ దిస్ ఎట్ ద టాప్ ఆఫ్ ద modern periodic table. Okay, in modern periodic table it is located separately at the top of the modern periodic table. Okay, so mari enduku, what now we can see that what are the resemblances with the alkali metals and what are the differences with the alkali metals. Okay, so first we can see the resemblances with the alkali metals. Okay, అంటే మరి ఆల్కలి మెటల్లోనే ఎందుకు ఉంచుతున్నారు, ఎందుకు ఉంచట్లేదు అనడానికి అనమాట. సిమిలారిటీస్, రిజెంబ్లెన్సెస్. ఓకే, so first electronic configuration. When you look at the electronic configuration for the hydrogen, it is 1s1 and it has a very similar electronic configuration with the remaining alkali metals like sodium. You see 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1, and for the potassium it is 4s1. Okay, so general electronic configuration we can write it as a ns1. Okay, so ns1 is both common for the hydrogen, sodium, so that it is a one kind of similarity with the alkali metal. And next is that electropositive character. Electropositive, you know that what is the electronegative and what is the electropositive. Okay, so electropositive character, generally the hydrogen has a very similar electropositive character like with the like a sodium plus and potassium plus ions. Okay, it removes the it can loses the one electron and convert into the proton. Okay, very similar to the sodium plus and potassium plus. Next, third one is the oxidation state. So generally for the first a group of elements, the oxidation state is a +1, and obviously the hydrogen also has a general oxidation state as a +1. Okay, so this is a one more resemblance. Next one is the combination with the electronegative elements. Okay, very similar to the alkali metals. It can also combine with the high electronegative elements, like you see that halides, sodium, potassium also combine with the chlorides, and it also combined with the chlorine, and sodium, potassium again combined with the sulfides, high electronegative element. Same thing, hydrogen also combined with the sulfur. Okay, so these four are the resemblances with the alkali metal. Now we can see the resemblance with the halogen, similarities with the halogen. Here is also there is a similarity in the electronic configuration. So what is that electronic configuration similarity? That look at here. Both contain one electron less than the nearest noble gas configuration. Oh, here it has a one electron less than the nearest noble gas configuration. Let's look at here. You see that fluorine 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So near to neon, and it is the one electron less. So nearest neon electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. But it is a one electron less. Come to the chlorine, it is also has one electron less. Similarly, the hydrogen also has one electron less near to helium. Helium also a noble gas, right? So that helium, you know that very. So helium electronic configuration is a 1s2, and it is a hydrogen has a one electron less than the helium. So it is a one similarity with the halogens. And second similarity, non-metallic character. You know that like all the halogens are non-metals, like fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, these are all gases, right? Okay, so obviously the hydrogen is also a gas, like halogens. Hydrogen is also a non-metallic in nature. Okay, so atomicity means combining capacity. So generally fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, these are all available in the diatomic nature, F2, Cl2, Br2, I2, right? Okay, very similar to that, hydrogen also available in the nature in the form of diatomic, H2. Okay, it is a one more resemblance. Next, formation of similar type of compounds like halides. Generally the halides form type of CCl4, silicon tetrachloride, germanium tetrachloride. Very similar to that, hydrogen also form CH4, methane, SiH4, silane, germanium, GeH4. Okay, so like this, it also form very similar kind of compounds like halogens. Next, to come to the oxidation state. What is the general oxidation state for the halogens? It is -1. So hydrogen also form -1 in the hydrides when it is combined with the sodium. Okay, so these are the 5 resemblances with the halogens. Okay, so that means it has some similarities with the alkali metals as well as with the halogens. Okay, now we can go for the differences from alkali metals. Okay, so what are the differences? First, in the ionization enthalpy. Okay, so what is the ionization enthalpy? You know that. Okay, the energy required to lose or remove one electron from the outermost electronic configurations of a metal, something in the right. Okay, so the ionization enthalpy of hydrogen is very high in comparison to alkali metals. You know that the alkali metals has a very less ionization enthalpies, so that they can lose their electron very easily. But come to the hydrogen, it won't be like that. It require more amount of energy to lose their outermost electron, so that it has a one difference from the alkali metals. Okay, next, second one, non-metallic character. You know that alkali metals all are metals, but come to the hydrogen, it is a non-metal, so this is a one more difference. Third one, atomicity. You know that all the elements in the alkali metals are monoatomic or something. Okay, but hydrogen comes to a diatomic. Okay, the hydrogen is diatomic, but whereas the alkali metals are monoatomic. This is the one more difference. Next, nature of the compounds. Okay, they form the similar kind of compounds, but come to the nature. Generally, the compounds of hydrogens are predominantly covalent in nature. Like HCl is a hydrogens. Okay, HCl is also a covalent, but when you come to the alkali metals, those are ionic. Okay, take some example HCl. HCl is a covalent, but sodium chloride is ionic. Sodium chloride is ionic. Okay, so two, these are the some differences with the alkali metals. Okay, next come to the differences from the halogens. Of course, it also has some differences with the halogens. What is that? The less tendency for hydride formation. Okay, what I said just before that, these can also gain one electron and form a type of H minus like Cl minus. Okay, so but the tendency is very less. Generally the chlorine takes the electron very fast and forms the Cl minus very easily, but the hydrogen, it won't be that easy to form the hydride ion formation. Okay, so hydrogen has less tendency to take up electron to form the hydride ion as compared to the halogens, which forms the halide ion very easily. Okay, next, absence of unshared pair of electrons. Absence of unshared pair of electron. You know that when it is combined with the some compound, it forms H2O, and some halogens form the Cl2O and F2O. So these has the unpaired electron. Generally the Cl chlorines has the unpaired of electron, so that they behave something like acidic in nature, but H2O is neutral in nature. Okay, right. These are the two differences from the halogen. Now it has also have some unique nature. It has some unique behavior. What is that unique behavior? Is that when it loses the electron, it form a H plus ion, right? Okay, that is nothing but the proton. This proton is that a size of 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 picometer, and this is extremely small as compared to normal atomic and ionic sizes of elements in the periodic table. Okay, generally the atom is very small, and when it loses the electron, the resulting proton is again, it is the smallest ion. Okay, so that is the reason why it does not exist freely, and it always associated with the other atoms or molecules. Okay, and because of all these similarities and differences with the alkali metals as well as with the halogens, so the people, they separated these hydrogen and located at the top of the modern periodic table. Okay, and they haven't included anywhere in the alkali metals or in the halogens. Okay, so this is the one important topic you need to understand, right? Okay, so dihydrogen. Okay, you know that dihydrogen is nothing but diatomic molecule of hydrogen, that is nothing but a H2 dihydrogen. Okay, so its occurrence, okay, where it is available is that generally the hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. You know that. Okay, 70% of the total mass of the universe. Okay, generally in the universe the hydrogen has a mass of 70 percentage. You see that how much hydrogen is available in the universe. Okay, and Jupiter and Saturn consist of mostly dihydrogen only, mostly dihydrogens. Okay, and it is much less abundant in the earth crust. Okay, but when you come to the earth crust, it has a less abundance, that is around the 0.15 percentage by mass. Okay, it's all about the occurrences of dihydrogen. Okay, next we can see the isotopes of hydrogen. Okay, you know that isotopes. Okay, generally the hydrogen exists in the form of three isotopes. Okay, right. So what is the isotope? What are the isotopes? Is that very simple? The isotopes are nothing but whatever that atoms with the same atomic number but different in the atomic mass. Okay, so generally you look at here, these hydrogen has a 3 different isotopes. The name, first one is the protium, another one is a deuterium, and next one, last one is the tritium. Okay, so protium, deuterium and tritium, right? Okay, so you see that the symbols H hydrogen 1 1 and H 1 2, H 1 3. Look at here, for all of them the atomic number is same 1 1 1, but the atomic mass is different 1 2 3. Okay, and generally this symbol they'll use it as a H for the protium, D for the deuterium, T for the tritium, T for the tritium. And atomic number, you know that it has a very similar atomic number with the difference in the atomic mass. What is the atomic mass here? 1 and 2 and 3 atomic masses. Okay, now come to the density. The density increases with the atomic mass increases. You know that when the mass increases in a particular volume, the density also will be increases. Okay, you look at here, here the density is the 0.09, next 0.18 and 0.27. Okay, because the mass is increasing, the mass is increasing in a particular volume. Okay, that is the reason why density also increases. Next, come to the relative abundance in the nature. Relatively, so if generally when you talk about the relativeness, you can see the total 100%. The total available hydrogen in the nature is 100%. In that 100%, 99.98% only the protium is there, and only the 0.0156% deuterium is there, and very little or very trace 10 to the power of minus 15% of tritium available in the nature. Okay, so that is, so with this what you understand, what you can understand, most of them is only the protium, most of them is protium. Okay, and come to the nature, generally this protium and deuterium both are non-radioactive. What are the radioactive and what are the non-radioactive? You know that generally the radioactive elements, when they dissociate, they release some kind of radiations, gamma radiation, delta ray, gamma alpha. Okay, gamma radiations. Okay, radio waves. But when you come to the tritium, it is a radioactive element. It is radioactive element, and when it is dissociate, it emits the beta particles. It emits the beta particle. Okay, beta radiation. Okay, and now come to the number of neutrons. How many neutrons can be present here? Okay, generally the hydrogen contains one proton, right? But in the protium, it contains only one proton, 0 neutrons. While come to the deuterium, it contains one proton, and the next extra one is nothing but the neutron. And come to the tritium, one proton and the remaining 2, that means 3 minus 1, 3 minus 1, nothing but the 2 neutrons can be present. Obviously you know that in a nucleus it contains only the protons and neutrons, and proton is a 1 and the remaining 2 atomic mass, the mass is nothing but the remaining 2 neutrons. Okay, you know that the number of neutrons is nothing but A minus Z. A minus Z. What is the A? Atomic mass. Here is the A minus Z. Okay, so what is the A? Here is the A and here is the Z. Here is the Z and here is the, okay, so that you can find out the number of neutrons very easily. Okay, right. So since the isotopes come to the properties, generally the isotopes has a similar chemical properties, but they are differ in the physical properties. Okay, so why they are different in the physical properties is that they have a different masses. They have a different masses, right? One has a 1 and one has a 2 and one has a 3 mass. So mass is increasing, so the density, the one of the important physical property, density also varying. You have seen in the last table, right? Okay, so that what here is telling is that since the isotopes have the same electronic configuration, generally the chemical properties depends on the electrons or electronic configurations, not on the protons or neutrons. Okay, so that they have a similar chemical properties. but the only difference in that is that the rate of reactions. Okay, of course all have a similar kind of chemical reactions, but the rate, that means in a particular time how much completion is going to be happen. Okay, so that is due to their different enthalpies of bond dissociation, different enthalpies in the bond dissociation, that you learn later, don't worry. But however, in a physical properties, these isotopes differ considerably due to their large mass difference. Due to the mass difference, they shows the differences in the physical properties, but not in the chemical properties. Generally, the chemical property depends only on the electronic configurations. Okay, right.